of Learnasia. Now move my attention to Dr. Tilak Siambalapitiya, International Energy Consultant. Dr. Siambalapitiya, Sri Lanka's energy sector is viewed as in a very sorry state at the moment. We're building the financial city of Colombo in a few years' time. We have apartments coming up in Colombo. Are we really geared up to take on the future? Isn't there an energy crisis in the country? The time starts now.
I would say yes, there is an energy crisis. About 3 years ago I would not have said so. I would have said everything is fine. But certain decisions that were overturned over the last 2-3 years, and also certain systems of decision making that has been changed over the last 2-3 years is now gradually taking particularly the electricity industry to a crisis. In fact, the crisis is already with us. There is a capacity shortage in the generating system. Of course, to the credit of all the people who worked hard for it, the country has almost achieved 100% coverage in terms of household electrification. The network losses are substantially on the decline, so there are good things happening as well. Everything is not so bad, but
are we geared up to take on the future?
Well, as of now I would say no, we are not geared up, because unlike any other thing, electricity cannot be imported. Of course, you may later ask me why can't we import from India, but leaving aside the fact that there is a potential for a connection, electricity has to be produced and used in the country at the moment it is produced. You cannot store it except in small quantities in batteries. And also we need to remember very well that electricity production has to be from stable power plants if you want to run a stable economy. There are so many countries in the world where the threat of blackouts are never heard of. Whether it is rain or sunshine, electricity will be there, and that stability is brought in by large power plants. And if large power plants are not being allowed to be built, or when power plants are being planned for years and suddenly overnight the decisions are turned upside down, then of course short-term solutions, unstable solutions, expensive solutions have to be implemented. Then also at this point of time, there is Sri Lanka, actually sad to say, there is no approved long-term plan for the development of generation in the country. So therefore everything that is being built is to be run on diesel. So for the first time after several years, the first quarter of this year, 40% of electricity production was from oil, diesel and fuel oil. So that will have an impact on the price, and also the fact that these are being done in small power plants is causing obviously the system to be increasingly unstable.
Isn't LNG an option?
It is definitely an option. It's definitely an option. I myself was part of the team that wrote the final recommendation on what Sri Lanka should do on LNG.
So why not look at that option at the moment?
Well, it is being looked at very seriously, at least now. This recommendation came about 3 years ago. Nothing was done. I'm not talking about governments, but nothing was done. But now I believe it has significantly, it has drawn interest of the various parties. But we are not doing one thing right, because we are not structuring the liquid natural gas import terminal project properly. From what I hear, we seem to be accepting proposals that falls on the desk of various BOI officials and considering them as serious proposals. So therefore, you know, I've been in the government service decades ago. I know what these proposals have, largely brochures. And brochures cannot make a project. A project has to be properly structured, because these are very expensive projects. You are talking about $500 to $700 million for LNG terminal. So they cannot be structured in terms of a proposal that is just brought in by a friend.
Is the government serious about these projects?
I believe the government is serious. What the government is not serious on is in following a correct procedure, in defining what the project should be, and then conducting the required studies, and then inviting proposals in a structured manner. Because large projects, unfortunately, projects that are essential for energy security, cannot be done based on proposals that your friends bring to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tilak Singh Mlapetia, International Energy Consultant, joining us this evening.